the hidden tactics used to control you, and how to break free. Part 1. You've been manipulated before. Have you ever said yes when your entire body was telling you no? Have you ever apologized just to keep the peace, even though you weren't in the wrong? Or maybe you walked away from a conversation feeling like the bad guy, but you weren't sure why. If you have, you've been manipulated, not by chance, not by misunderstanding, but by design. Manipulation isn't always obvious. It's not always aggressive. Sometimes it's quiet, subtle, and so smooth you don't even realize it's happening. That's what makes it dangerous, because manipulation doesn't need force, it just needs confusion and silence, and your desire to avoid conflict. So in this video, we're going to expose the top psychological manipulation techniques that people use to control, twist, and influence you without ever laying a hand on you. And once you know them, you'll start to see them everywhere. This isn't just motivation. This is a wake-up call. Let's begin. Part 2. Gaslighting, making you doubt your reality. Gaslighting is the manipulator's favorite trick. They'll twist facts, deny things they said, and make you question your memory. You say, "You said that yesterday." They reply, "No, I didn't. You're imagining things." And suddenly you're unsure, not just of them, but of yourself. You begin to doubt your perception, your feelings, your truth. That's the goal. Because once you stop trusting yourself, you start depending on them. Gaslighting isn't about lying. It's about erasing your reality and replacing it with theirs. If you've ever felt crazy in a relationship, if you've ever second-guessed your own emotions, if someone made you feel like you're too sensitive, too dramatic, or always misremembering, that's gaslighting. The antidote: validate your own feelings. Keep a journal. Speak your truth even if your voice shakes. The moment you stop arguing with yourself is the moment their power breaks. Part 3. Love bombing, flooding you with affection to disarm you. At first, it feels like a dream. You've never been adored this way. So much attention, so much praise, so much affection. You think this must be real love. But it's not love, it's leverage. Love bombing is when someone overwhelms you with flattery, gifts, attention, and fast commitment. Not because they love you, but because they want control. It's not love, it's bait. Because once they have you hooked, the affection fades and the control begins. Suddenly you're walking on eggshells, doing everything you can to get back the love they used to give freely. That was never real love. That was a setup. Real love builds slowly. Manipulation rushes you in, so it can tear you down. Don't confuse intensity for intimacy. Real love doesn't need a performance. Part 4. Silent treatment, controlling through absence. Silence is powerful, but in the hands of a manipulator, silence becomes a weapon. They don't yell, they disappear. They don't argue, they ignore. They don't punish you with violence, they punish you with absence. You're left wondering what you did wrong. You replay conversations. You feel anxious, small, lost. That's exactly what they want, because silence makes you desperate. Desperate to fix it, desperate to explain, desperate for the connection you lost. The silent treatment turns your need for resolution into a tool they use to manipulate you. Healthy communication doesn't disappear. It leans in, it explains, it works through. If someone always makes you chase their attention or affection, it's not love, it's manipulation. And you're not a beggar for peace. You're a human being who deserves respect. Part 5. Guilt tripping, turning kindness into control. Manipulators don't always yell. Sometimes they whisper, "I did everything for you. After all I've done, this is how you treat me? If you really cared, you wouldn't do this." That's guilt tripping, and it's poison, because it makes you feel responsible for someone else's emotions. even when you did nothing wrong. Guilt tripping flips the script. You go from defending your boundaries to defending your heart. Suddenly, your no makes you a villain. Your truth becomes betrayal. But here's what you need to know. Guilt is not proof of wrongdoing. Your boundaries are not cruelty. And just because someone feels hurt, it doesn't mean you did something wrong. You are allowed to protect your peace even if it disappoints others. That's not selfish, that's self-respect. Part 6, triangulation, using others to control you. A manipulator doesn't always attack you directly. Sometimes they bring in someone else to do it for them. I was talking to your friend, and even they said you're overreacting. Your mom agrees with me. Everyone thinks you're being ridiculous. This is triangulation. It's when a manipulator drags other people into your conflict to isolate you, shame you, or pressure you into compliance. Suddenly, it's not just one person disagreeing, it's a crowd, and you feel alone, outnumbered, wrong. But here's the truth. The manipulator is just using their voices as masks. They may be lying, twisting words, or projecting their opinion as if it were a universal truth. Don't fall for it. When someone brings others into your personal boundaries, they're not seeking truth. They're seeking power. Part 7, projection, accusing you of what they're doing. A manipulator's guilt doesn't stay with them. They throw it at you. They cheat but accuse you of being unfaithful. They lie but claim you're hiding things. They insult you but say you're the one being mean. That's projection. Instead of facing their darkness, they hand it to you. And suddenly, you're defending yourself against things you never did. That's how they stay in control, by making you the problem. Don't absorb guilt that isn't yours. Don't apologize for things you didn't do. And don't let someone weaponize your kindness to dodge their own accountability. You're not the villain in their story. They're just trying to rewrite yours. Part 8, future faking. Promising a dream to delay the truth. I promise I'll change. We're gonna get married someday. Once this job settles down, I'll give you more time. It sounds beautiful, hopeful, safe, but it's a lie. Future faking is when someone sells you a dream they have no intention of delivering. It keeps you stuck in the hope of someday while they do nothing today. And the longer you wait, the more you lose yourself, because your love becomes a waiting room. Here's the hard truth. If someone really wanted it, you wouldn't have to wait years to feel loved. If they meant what they said, you'd see it in their actions, not just their promises. Don't stay for the person they could be someday. See the person they are right now and ask yourself, is that enough? Part 9, minimizing, making your pain seem small. You're overreacting. It's not that deep. Why are you so sensitive? Minimizing is manipulation disguised as calm. It shrinks your pain, dismisses your needs, and makes you feel like speaking up is the real problem. But it's not. Minimizing is a tactic used to invalidate your feelings, so the manipulator never has to change. They don't have to apologize if your pain isn't real. They don't have to explain themselves if you're just too emotional. And slowly, you stop expressing. You stop trusting your gut. You silence your own voice. That's not peace. That's emotional suppression. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to feel. You deserve to heal. Part 10, the freedom strategy, how to break the cycle. Now you know their tactics. Gaslighting, love bombing, triangulation, projection, future faking, guilt tripping, silent treatment, minimizing. These aren't quirks. These are psychological weapons. And now that you see them, you can stop falling for them. The first step is awareness. The second is action. Here's how you begin to break free. Journal your experiences. Write down what happened, what was said, and how you felt. This protects your truth from their rewriting. Set boundaries, even when it feels terrifying. Seek connection with people who validate, not manipulate. Learn to sit in discomfort without giving into guilt. And most of all, reclaim your voice. The people who want to manipulate you won't like it when you grow stronger, but that's the cost of peace. You don't owe anyone your silence. And you were not born to be controlled. You were born to be conscious, to be whole, to be free. Let today be the day you stop making excuses for abuse. Let today be the day you wake up, not just motivated, but mentally untouchable. Subscribe to Humphrey Speak for more quotes that make you stronger than your past.